Look at her, she's spittin' nerdy. Look at her, she's spittin' nerdy. Can't you see she's spittin' nerdy? Look at her, she's spittin' nerdy.
Good morning, everyone. I am home for the holiday season, and by holiday season, I mean birthday season, because as you guys know, I just had a birthday, but then my mom's birthday is 2 days after mine, and my brother's birthday is 3 days after hers. So we always go to dinner to celebrate together. We're doing that tonight, and I am so excited. It's always fun to come home, hang out, have fun, and also have access to a dishwasher. I miss having a dishwasher. So I decided to weigh myself the other day. I don't weigh myself regularly anymore. I used to weigh myself fairly regularly, especially when I first started lifting, but now I just kind of do it whenever I feel like it, just to check in, see where I'm at. And I hadn't weighed myself since I did my 3-day fasting vlog, where I fasted for 3 days and tracked all of my biomarkers throughout the fast, including my weight. And if you guys saw that video, you'll know that I started my fast right after Christmas, and for the 3 days leading up to it, I was much heavier than I was when I finished Project Comeback. And a lot of this weight that I had gained right at Christmas was not fat. I was home for the holidays, and I basically spent about a week eating quite a bit more sugar than I usually do, not being quite as active as I usually am, eating a lot more carbs than I usually do. Not that carbs are bad, I just don't tend to eat a ton of carbs, and just generally not eating as clean as I usually do, and so that resulted in my body retaining a little bit of extra weight. Now, I personally was not super concerned about this. I expected it because I knew what I was doing to my body, I knew how it could affect my weight, and so it was fine. So when I weighed myself the other day, I was not at all surprised to see that I was within half a pound of my post-Project Comeback weight. So the weight gain that I experienced during the holidays did not turn out to be permanent. Now, a lot of people do experience weight gain during the holidays. This is not at all abnormal, and it comes down to changes in lifestyle, changes in activity, changes in diet, etc. For the people who just allow themselves a few days to indulge, a few days to just chill out and relax and not worry about the gym, this weight gain is not usually permanent, as you can see from my lack of actual weight gain. But for the people who allow the holidays to be basically 2 months of lack of restraint and lack of motivation to go to the gym and lack of physical activity and just kind of a general slump in lifestyle, because I mean, it's totally understandable why this happens. The holidays can be an extremely stressful time for an insane number of reasons, financially, emotionally, etc. And so it's really easy to let those things kind of take over and impact the fit and healthy lifestyle that you were living for the previous 10 months. But when that does happen, the weight gain tends to be a little bit more permanent and or a little bit more stubborn. And this isn't only due to those 2 months, it's due to the fact that in those 2 months, you kind of fall out of all of your healthy habits and you lose traction in your healthy lifestyle. So starting in the new year, it can be really difficult to find the motivation again and to get back on track and to get back to how you were living before the holidays arrived. And that's when it really does start to spiral out of control and lead to a lot more fat gain that becomes a lot harder to lose in the long run. So today, this video is for you guys who got a little bit off track during the holidays due to any variety of circumstances and have found that it has resulted in a little bit of extra weight gain. Now, some of this weight gain might be quite a bit easier to lose because it may have resulted not quite as much from the fact that you're in a calorie surplus, but more so from the quality of the food that you're eating impacting your relationship with your gut. Your gut might just be really mad at you right now. Gut issues can cause weight gain in all different sorts of ways. It could just be that you're retaining water, you could be slightly inflamed, or you could just be having general digestive issues that's causing your body to not be able to absorb nutrients as well, and so it's making you want to eat even more. Anyway, that's why my first tip is probiotics. You guys know my love of kombucha. I'm trying to get back in the habit of starting every day with kombucha. Now, if you absolutely hate kombucha, there are plenty of other probiotic options that you can consume. Some of my favorites are coconut yogurt, cashew yogurt, sauerkraut. I absolutely love incorporating sauerkraut a little bit before my meals. Kimchi is another one. Miso's really good. Basically, there are a ton of different options for foods that contain a high number of probiotics in them. And so I recommend just incorporating those into your life. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, even though that's what I love to do with kombucha. That's absolutely not necessary. That's just what makes me personally feel the best and makes my gut really happy. So I just made myself a little breakfast. I'm trying to get to the gym kind of ASAP, so I didn't want to eat too much. So I just have a few eggs, a little bit of pesto, avocado, and then one of the siete tortillas. I wasn't gonna have a tortilla, and then my mom got them out and she's like, I'm gonna have one of these, and I was like, sounds like a really good idea to just make an egg burrito taco thing. So that's what I decided to do. Oftentimes when you start to indulge and then start to overindulge on more processed, refined foods during the holidays, that's what your body starts to crave, because they are some of the quickest sources of energy, and evolutionarily our bodies are designed to seek out quick sources of energy. So the more you eat of them, the more you end up craving, and so it kind of turns into a downward spiral where you just end up eating a ton of processed, refined foods, which is not optimal for health. It's not optimal to maintain your weight. It's not optimal in general. So what I do recommend if you're trying to bounce back after the holidays is to make sure you're focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. It's also going to help your gut, which is what I just talked about. Your gut will like you so much better if you're giving it food that it understands and recognizes, and it's a lot easier for it to digest. It's also so much harder to overeat and to go over on calories if you are eating mostly whole unprocessed foods. They're just so much more filling. They don't trigger that response where your body just wants more and more and more. And you don't have to think about it like you need to overhaul your entire diet for the rest of your life in order to get back on track. Just do it in small increments. If you just commit to something for 5 days and then maybe give yourself 2 days off and then commit to it for 5 days, it's so much easier mentally to break it down into small chunks. It doesn't feel like you're restricting yourself. It doesn't feel like you're really forcing yourself to do anything, because anyone can do anything for 5 days. You can eat clean for 5 days. You can hit 10,000 steps 5 days in a row. You can make an effort to get some sort of movement or workout in for 5 days. It's all about rebuilding these healthy habits slowly and getting you back on track in a sustainable way that doesn't cause the downward spiral to spiral even farther downward. I am now about to head off to the gym. I'm all ready to go smash out a great workout. Getting back into the routine of working out and moving regularly can be one of the hardest things. For me, that is the hardest thing when I get off track, is just finding the motivation and building the momentum to keep going. For me personally, I didn't really get off track exercise-wise during the holidays, but the week after, where I was finalizing everything for Project Comeback and I was barely sleeping, I was not going to the gym. So I spent like a whole week just basically sitting in my house, not doing anything or moving anywhere, and that kind of completely stalled all of my momentum. And so getting back on track has been definitely not as hard as it was before I did Project Comeback, when I really felt like I was stuck in a rut, but it has been something that I've really had to stay cognizant of and aware of, and just make sure that I'm actually going to the gym and not just like letting it slide. Oh no, I forgot my sweatshirt. Oh, it's cold. It's almost like the laws of physics apply to going to the gym. Like, you know, an object in motion will stay in motion. If you're in the habit of going to the gym, you'll be able to keep going to the gym, but an object at rest will stay at rest. So if you haven't been going to the gym, it takes so much effort to like get yourself to start moving and get yourself to the freaking gym. So I personally have a lot more motivation, and I feel like it's a lot easier for me to stay on track if I'm following a specific workout program. So I do recommend getting a program, like a well done program, because there are a lot of bad programs out there. Not only because it gives you like a reason to go to the gym, it gives you a purpose, but also because it's actually a lot easier to make progress if you're following a well-planned program. Doing random workouts with new exercises whenever you show up to the gym, it can be fun, but there's actually benefit to structure, because you get a lot more of the neurological adaptation when you're repeatedly going through different exercises, and you're able to build upon your last few workouts as opposed to everything just being kind of random. So if at one point you were going to the gym like 4 or 5 days a week, getting really good workouts, and you just kind of fallen off track and that isn't happening too much anymore, then you're literally who I designed Project Comeback for, so I do recommend that. But if you're looking for more of like a long-term program or something that doesn't scale up every week to get you back on track, like if you're kind of on track but you want something more structured, MAPS Anabolic from MINDPUMP, which is a program that I started last year and cycled through twice, is actually on sale this month for 50% off with the code RED50. So I will link that down in the description below. It just completely revolutionized the way I train. It completely transformed my strength, it transformed my body, and it literally just transformed the way I viewed lifting. Before I started that program, I had only ever trained in the hypertrophy range, which is 8 to 12 reps, and that program is actually in 3 different phases. So you do a strength phase, which is the 1 to 5 rep range, and then you do hypertrophy, and then you do endurance, which is more, I think, like the 12 to 15 rep range. And so because it's phased, it prevents the adaptation plateau, and it also exposes you to new modes of exercise if you haven't trained in any of those ranges before. From when I started it to when I finished it, I think my squat went up like 30 pounds, my deadlift went up like 50 pounds, maybe more. My hip thrust went up 150 pounds. I had no idea I was capable of lifting so much weight. It was actually insane. So I definitely recommend MAPS Anabolic if you're looking for some structure, some really good programming that's gonna help you see change. It's 3 full body workouts a week. You can do everything with dumbbells, and it has by far transformed my body and the way that I exercise more than any other program I've ever gone through, except for Project Comeback, because you guys all saw that transformation, and that was huge. And I'm actually about to start MAPS Split, which is one of the newer programs from MINDPUMP, in a few weeks. I'm just gonna finish off cycling through some of the Project Comeback workouts and just kind of finish that off, and then I'm gonna start MAPS Split, and I think I'm gonna use that to kind of reverse diet and build up my metabolism, build some muscle, and just generally see what I can do with my body and where I can push myself. Really excited to start that program. I did write in a few modifications of my own because it was a little bit more upper body focused, and I really, that's bright. I really want to focus on building my hamstrings, so I wrote in some of that, wrote in a little bit more bootay work. Anyway, that's enough rambling for now. I'm actually super behind schedule. I had no idea I would be in such a rush today, but I think this is gonna be a really short gym session because I have to get back, change, get ready for dinner. We're going over to pick up my grandmother, and I don't have much time. So we're gonna go get as good of a lower body workout in as we can. Well, that was certainly a short workout, but I think it was pretty effective. Not sure if supersetting deadlifts and Bulgarian split squats is the most advisable thing to do when you don't have a lot of time, because that's intense, and I definitely was pushing it kind of to the limit, but it was kind of fun at the same time. Now it's time to rush home and get ready for my family birthday dinner. I'm all clean and ready and make-upped for my family birthday dinner. And can we just talk about this jumpsuit really quick? Like, it's a jumpsuit. I posted it on Instagram when I tried it on in the store, and I was like, guys, I either love this or I hate this, and I can't decide. And you guys all convinced me to get this. So I literally waited like 3 or 4 months for it to go on sale because I was not about to buy it at full price, and I finally got it, and I'm so excited to be wearing it. And I'm well aware that it looks like a circus tent, so before you get all critical, I know it looks ridiculous, but I also think it looks fabulous, and I love it. So we're about to go and get my grandmother and then go to a little fancy-ish Mexican-ish place, and usually what I would advise if you're trying to get back on track and lose the holiday weight, it would be to not eat out at restaurants. So I'm setting a not super great example. However, it is for an occasion. It's not like I'm eating out at restaurants every single night. But I really do recommend cooking at home as much as possible. I'm much more likely to eat more than I need to in order to make myself full. I eat until I'm a little bit over full when I go out to restaurants, whereas if I eat at home, I'm a lot more in control of when I stop eating and just making sure that I stop eating when I'm satiated rather than just continuing to eat because the food is so good. Anyway, let's go get some yummy food.
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us.
Cheers.
All of you. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Ellie.
Yeah, come on, get in there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
Oh.
Yep.
Literally 45 seconds later.
Yeah.
Family birthday gatherings went a little bit longer than expected last night, and then I ended up passing out on the couch and didn't finish this video, so we're here today. Basically, the last big thing that I wanted to say though was just that if you did gain a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra fat during the holidays, what's going to help you lose it is not going to be some crazy diet. It's not gonna be a juice cleanse. It's not gonna be fasting for 3 days. It's gonna be taking small steps to get you back to living a healthy lifestyle. Unless you wanna spend the rest of your life yo-yoing back and forth, you just need to take the time, put in the effort, rebuild to where you were before, and just give your body what it needs. The exercise, proper nutrition, enough sleep, and enough time to de-stress, then it will end up evening itself out. It's a little different if you are already very overweight, but if you just gained like 5 or 10 pounds during the holidays due to the increase in sugar, the lack of sleep, all of the alcohol, etc., just getting back to a healthy lifestyle will help sort your body out, and you should be able to lose that weight fairly easily and fairly quickly without resorting to any extremes. It's when people freak out about the weight gain and resort to extreme measures that they end up in the endless cycle of yo-yo dieting, because they gain a little bit of weight and then they do something extreme to lose the weight, but that isn't sustainable, and they end up harming their body in the process, maybe drastically slowing their metabolism, messing up their hormones, and then that makes it really hard to keep the weight off, and so you end up gaining it back, and then you do it again, and then you lose the weight, and then you gain it all back, and it's an endless cycle, and it's not a fun place to be, and it's just so much easier, and you'll be so much happier in the long run if you just focus on rebuilding a healthy lifestyle. So if there's one big takeaway from this video, it's that if you gained a little weight because of the holidays, or because of a vacation, or because of some little thing that happened in your life that resulted in your healthy lifestyle just kind of degrading for a little bit, the best way to go about losing this weight is to give your body what it needs to be healthy, rather than taking away things unnecessarily. So I hope this helped some of you. I hope I repeated myself enough to really get my point across, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up, because it really does support me and my channel, and I really do genuinely appreciate it. Please leave a little comment, let me know what you think. If you did gain a little bit more weight than you would like during the holidays, let me know what you're struggling with down in the comments, or let me know what your long-term game plan is and we can talk about it. Please share this video with your friends and your family and your fitness buddies. Please subscribe for more videos, hit the notification button so you don't miss those videos, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.